Thank you. I want to start with the social media question, and I want you all to imagine the following hypothetical scenario. An American company reaches out to leaders of the base or the Atomwaffen division or another terrorist group and says, have we got a great service for you? We will scour the entire internet using big data for anybody in the world who might be susceptible to your message. And so long as you don't post things that are overtly threatening violence, we're willing to deliver your message directly into the social media of those people, wherever they may be, to help you recruit more members and to spread your message more effectively. Would you be concerned about that?
Very.
Isn't that exactly what Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and the big social media companies in fact do via their social media algorithms? Now, they may not physically pick up the phone and call the Atomwaffen division and say, you know, this is a great service for you, but isn't that effectively what the social media algorithms do? They scour the internet for anybody who, based on their previous internet usage, seems like the sort of person who would like to buy a pair of shoes, watch a cute kitten video, or perhaps be interested in anti-Semitic or neo-Nazi content and make that connection.
Yes, I am not going to sit here and defend companies. That's not my job. And your point, Mr. Chairman, was well taken. That said, I do think that the briefings I have received, they are trying. Are they trying hard enough? I think that's for you all to examine. But
have you ever, in your engagement with them, though, directly addressed this issue of how their algorithms help to spread this kind of content?
I can tell you that there are any number of former counterterrorism professionals that work for these companies that are actively trying to figure out how to stop this. Okay. If they're moving fast enough, if there's enough money towards that, that's a separate question. I have not examined that. But I do know that the people that I have met with that brief me on their innovative tools to try to promote civil discourse, to try to appropriately remove content that violates their terms of service, that tries to identify that content which is spreading hate. They are looking for ways to do that within the context of
right. So
their...
clearly, if they see something bad, they take it down, but the engine that causes that stuff to spread is something I think they are more reluctant to acknowledge and address. Different question for you, Ms. Sanborn. We were talking about various legal authorities. We had a case in New Jersey recently, a man in Camden County, New Jersey, who had a long history of posting anti-Semitic rants on the internet, including celebrating acts of violence against Jews. Allegedly, he was in personal contact with the shooter in the Tree of Life synagogue. And because we have, in New Jersey, recently passed a so-called red flag law enforcement in New Jersey was able to confiscate this individual's firearms, of which he had quite a few. In your experience as a law enforcement officer, do you think this is an authority that is useful in these circumstances where somebody has not yet committed an act of violence, but there is this body of evidence that they may be celebrating, contemplating, engaging with people who have committed such acts? Is that a useful tool for law enforcement to have, in your view?
I think what would concern me about sort of thinking that solves the problem is, in my experience as a law enforcement officer, if an individual is intent on doing some harm, they're going to find a weapon, and unfortunately, all of our terrorism, international and domestic, is encouraging individuals to make a weapon. I mean, the threat we've seen in Europe of vehicular attacks is equally as scary as the threat that we can imagine when you talk about firearms. And they're telling them, go get a knife, go get a vehicle. And so I'm not sure that necessarily it could falsely give us the sense of security.
But can it help? I'm not suggesting it solves the problem.
Anytime a bad guy doesn't have a weapon in their hands, it's
Good.
a positive sign.
Thank you.